Now, tourism is still one of the industries worst affected by the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite travel bans being lifted and recreational facilities being allowed to operate, some businesses simply could not recover. Today, authorities are visiting 2 districts in KwaZulu-Natal to assess the impact of the pandemic on tourism. Mawande Kheswa is covering this story for us. He joins us now live. So, Mawande, you've been speaking to businesses. What are they saying?
Well, the main thing that businesses are saying, really, and it has been echoed around the country, is that COVID-19 has had quite a tremendous impact in terms of the performance of businesses and the decisions, rather, that they've had to take since then. A lot of businesses say they lost revenue, which also led them to letting go of some staff members as they were not really getting enough traffic within their businesses. Within the Mawande districts, they are quite close to the Mozambican border, and a lot of tourists coming from Mozambique and neighboring countries visit this area and make use of the various facilities that are here. This place, not far from this place, rather, you've got the Ismangaliso Wetland Park, where there is a heritage site, so it is quite popular among travelers, and really COVID-19 has had quite a severe impact as far as the businesses within the sector are concerned.
So what's government's plans to actually boost domestic tourism?
Well, one of the things that I put on the table, or put forth to the Deputy Minister of Tourism, Fish Mahlalela, was that a lot of South Africans feel as though domestic tourism isn't on the increase because of pricing. People have less disposable income as a result of COVID-19 and the increase in the general cost of living. And he said that this is something they have cited and are in discussions to have rates for both locals as well as international tourists, and this will definitely aid in that debate around the cost should really it materialize. We also did speak to the Tourism KZN board chair, who had this to say.
What we are really picking up is that people feel that there hasn't been enough transformation in terms of accommodating the black businesses that are applying their trade in the tourism industry. But it's not that nothing has been done. A lot has been, there have been some interventions done to ensure that local people do benefit, especially during this COVID era. We've directed them to the benefits of the funds that are available. More than that, also we're using the district-based approach to identify those businesses within Umkhanyabude district that are focusing on tourism.
Mawande, let's talk about whether or not these businesses are considering making it a bit cheaper for South Africans to travel to those areas, because I know I'm going to Mpumalanga this weekend and the prices are still sky high, making it difficult for South Africans who are struggling to travel domestically.
Well, the Deputy Minister, as I'd indicated, is in discussions with the various board and establishments to have rates for both locals as well as internationals to try and address that concern, because it is something that is echoed by many people on social media and in discussions and forums and so forth. And he says that they've caught wind of this and they are in discussions. As he says that there is quite an appetite to accept a model of this nature, but things are yet to be finalized, because that is one of the areas, really, as you're rightfully saying, that you're paying exorbitant prices that an international tourist would also pay, which really is not fair. On the Libra scale, these two things weigh much differently, so one side has to be different to the other. We're in a period where disposable income really is diminished. We've just had a huge fuel hike, which affects pretty much everything around us. So people really wants to travel, but then the cost of traveling, you look at an era where we're in, you need to account for fuel, you need to account for accommodation, you need to account for food, entertainment, and so forth. And all of these costs do add up. But when we do get into a situation where, as a local, you're paying a lower rate, the ministry also does believe that that might actually aid in the decision-making that is involved as to whether or not is it better for me to travel locally, or should I just go internationally where you feel as though you're getting more value for your money. So with regards to boosting domestic tourism, that is something that they're looking at, a model where locals and internationals aren't charged the same rate.
All right, thanks for the update. Appreciate it. Mawande Kheswa.